What is your opinion on how we can turn the channel on that idea, knowing that one of the biggest contributing factors is the cost of labor? And one of the reasons people go offshore is because it's much cheaper. Not
Yep.
even talking about human rights and all the other issues, but the cost of labor and insurance and just doing business here in the United States is way more expensive than going over to Asia and other areas.
So over time, we've seen people go offshore. We saw a lot of
Mm.
business and third, fourth party logistics and manufacturing go to China and go to Asia,
Mm.
go to Mexico. And that was based on a financial calculus of cost of labor primarily.
Mhm.
When you look more deeply in the true costs of the business, and then you look at things like supply chain vulnerability and access to key materials and raw materials, and some of the human rights issues in some of the other countries, there is the financial currency issue, but there's also a social currency kind of
Mhm.
component that's a little bit more intangible. But I think COVID showed us pretty quickly that we're going to have a lot more of that domestic capability here. And I say here, right on the contiguous 48 or certainly within the 50 states, just so that we have a little bit more control over it. We've been very comfortable as a society in buying an 8-foot television for about $150 right now, and there's going to be a little bit of pain in the wallets, but we've also demonstrated our own fiscal responsibilities a little upside down with more than $1 trillion plus now in credit card debt. That's not a smart consumer on the domestic side. So we've got to be very, very careful. But the bottom line is we can't, certainly in today's uncertain geopolitical, chaotic, frantic space, we can't allow key portions of our supply chain, and not just the Department of Defense, but in technology, chips, AI, power generation, right? All the things that are ancillary to really us being able to do what we want to do, we should have a lot more of it here. And does that come at an additional cost? It sure does.
Right.
But the cost of not having it available and somebody turning off the light switch at a different point is going to be even more costly as well.